So, good evening, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for joining us for Building Your Toolbox, our monthly educational series where we explore practical strategies and skills for managing pain. We're so glad you could be here tonight. We are very excited that we have a special guest today. Some of you may already know her, Sara Gehrig. She's a U.S. Pain Peer Support Group leader, as well as the Assistant Director of Mental Health and Support. Sara will be guiding us through gentle movement and stretching techniques, a topic that's both powerful and accessible no matter where you are in your pain journey. I'm Michelle Rice, and I've been living with chronic pain for over 25 years. I serve as the patient engagement lead for the U.S. Pain Foundation, as well as a chronic pain peer support group leader. So tonight we will learn more about gentle movement, and some of the things that we will learn include why movement and stretching can benefit people living with chronic pain, tips for getting started safely and confidently, and examples of simple stretches and movements you can do while lying down, sitting, or standing. So I'm really excited to introduce you to our guest presenter this evening, Sara Gehrig. Sara is the Assistant Director of Mental Health and Support at the U.S. Pain Foundation, as well as a volunteer peer-to-peer support group leader. Before her own pain journey, she worked as a certified personal trainer, exercise development specialist, and yoga instructor. She now draws on that background to support and empower people living with chronic pain. Sara, we are very honored to have you here tonight, and I will let you take over from here and just let me know when you want me to advance slides for you.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here with my pain family, as I call them every morning at the daily group. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for coming. Please be comfortable, as Michelle said. Know that you don't have to take any notes. Michelle said it's recorded. All the notes and the examples of some of the movement exercises, the stretching exercises, all of the images and the names of the images are listed at the very end. So please be comfortable. This will be recorded and it'll be put on our YouTube channel in a couple days after. So please don't feel like you have to take any notes. Just please listen and be comfortable. Again, I'm happy to be here with you to talk about gentle movement and stretching. Here's a little bit of an overview. As Michelle said, I'll be talking about why it's important we want to do this living with chronic pain and various conditions. I'm going to give some tips on how we get started, some sample images of exercises and stretches, and a few gentle reminders of the things that we discussed together tonight. So again, thank you. And next slide, please. I wanted to start with this. It's kind of a joke, but not really. It says people may say, you should exercise more. Have you tried yoga? You should exercise. Oh, perfect. I'll just schedule that between my bouts of chronic fatigue and pain. Maybe you've heard this, heard something similar to this. As great as this intentions and these intentions may be, I've always wondered, and maybe you've wondered too, and how would you like me to do that? How would you like me to just try yoga? How would you just like me to exercise when I have debilitating pain a lot of the time, or I have extreme exhaustion from my day-to-day pain? How do you want me to just exercise or do yoga? How do I do that? And what I've always felt like, the follow through isn't always there after those statements. Fine, I would love to do that, but how do I do it? And so my hope tonight with all of you is share the importance of movement and stretching while also giving tips on how do we get started. I'm not here to create a workout plan to give you how many reps you should do or how long you should do it. but to guide, whether it's if you live with limited mobility, or if you're like me some days and spend most of your day in bed, or if you're in a wheelchair, or just have unpredictable pain, there are things to do, ways to modify, ways to adapt, to make movement and stretching still achievable. So next slide, please. So why is it important? It's natural, very natural to want to move less when living with pain, and various conditions. I honor that physical toll and mental and emotional toll that it takes on our whole well-being. I honor that very much. Um, Over time, inactivity can lead to muscle weakness, joint stiffness, reduced mobility, loss of endurance, balance, and that increased pain and fatigue. So why is it important that we try to get some movement and some stretching? This is why this gentle movement and stretching play such a vital role. With um, movement, it keeps our joints lubricated and our muscles active. Our joints are surrounded by fluid. When we move more, fluid gets pushed around. Movement equals circulation. Light movement helps reduce that stiffness. It improves circulation, as I said. When you engage in low impact movement, it boosts circulation, helps with oxygen and nutrients delivery to muscles and our tissues. And with that, it can help inflammation and stiffness, not only in our joints, but also in that connective tissue. And then again, this is easing that stiffness, and it strengths and it improves strength and flexibility, as it says there. Strengthening muscles can around our painful joints can better support and reduce strain, maintain balance, coordination, and everyday mobility. And with increased flexibility, can also reduce strain and tension, eases stiffness, and supports posture. When we move, even gently, the body releases endorphins. This is a natural chemical that acts like the body's own pain reliever. Endorphins can help dull pain signals. Movement also supports the release of serotonin and dopamine, our feel-good hormones, which can improve mood, reduce stress, and help with sleep. Even small amounts of movement can activate this effect. So, and then with stretching, flexibility keeps muscles and tissues long and pliable. Maintaining range of motion keeps joints moving more freely and reduces stress. Tightness and tension helps ease or tightness and relieves muscle tightness and tension, helps ease tension. That sometimes you get that like tight band feeling. It helps relieve that feeling. With our posture, it releases that tight muscle that sometimes it pulls that body out of alignment. It can release that with stretching. With balance, it improves coordination and lowers the risk of falls, and stability too. And calming the nervous system. When we stretch, we can relax muscles that sends that soothing signals to the nervous system, lowering stress and that pain activity, those pain signals to the brain. Next slide, please. So tips. This is where I really wanted to get in the meat of this. Oops, we'll go back one. There we go. Before we start any new movement or exercises or stretching, like when people say, have you tried yoga? Have you tried anything? How do I go about doing that? How do I do that? Before we start any new movement or exercise or stretching, we all, like I said, we all have new different activity levels. We all have different conditions. We need to consult with our healthcare professionals, our care team. You want to make sure that what you are doing is the best for your condition, and ask questions. Ask questions to your healthcare professionals. Ask questions. Should I monitor my heart rate, my blood pressure? How often should I do movement and stretching? How often during the day? How often during the week? They're going to be able to answer those questions. Um, can you help me find a PT, an OT, or a rehab practitioner that specializes in my condition? Some OTs and PTs don't always specialize in your condition. So some conditions you don't want to be stretching. Some you really want to monitor your heart rate and your blood pressure. So can you help me find a PT, or OT, or even a personal trainer or another rehab practitioner that specializes in my condition? And you can also, look this up online if you ask those specific questions, and then those specific to your condition, ask the questions. They will be able to answer questions like, what type of movement stretches should I do and what should I avoid? Those are big questions. What should I do for my condition and what should I avoid? Some of your healthcare providers should know this too, but I think the practitioners that specialize in your condition will be able to tell you what kind of movement and stretches should I do and what should I avoid. So before you begin any kind of movement, really check with your trusted care team and ask the questions. How often should I be doing this? Should I be monitoring anything while I be doing this? What should I be doing for my condition as a whole, and what should I be avoiding? And maybe should I be doing this under supervision? I think those are some key things. There's so many different fitness trackers out there, too, watches, rings, bands you can wear that will also keep track of that, and maybe your healthcare professionals will steer you in a direction of that. To begin, number 2, it says start slow, listen to your body. Begin slow, listen to your body as you are now. Overdoing it can lead to flare-ups. It's easy to either want to start where you used to be, or to start where you want to be. Maybe ask yourself the question, where am I in this moment? And that can change day to day. I put that picture on the slideshow of myself a couple ago, on this slideshow of that's me when I'm just going out for a walk. I used to be a cyclist, a triathlete, all those, a runner, a big runner, and now that's all. Not all. I'm grateful that I can a little bit. Is I can walk. I can, in the slides coming, I put how to walk in bed. Sometimes I only can walk in bed. Sometimes I can walk in sitting, and sometimes I can walk with my assisted devices. And so where am I in this moment? And that changes day to day. And so we begin slow, we increase in intensity and time as your body tolerates. You set the tone, you start small. Maybe it's 3 minutes, maybe it's 5 minutes, maybe it's 10 minutes a day. We just start. But we ask ourselves, where am I in this moment? And know that it changes day to day. Establishing those goals, set realistic milestones that are best for you, and then we celebrate that. But set small, realistic, achievable goals, little milestones each week, like maybe I'm gonna walk to the mailbox, or maybe I'm gonna do 2 chair exercises well, or maybe I'm gonna be completing bed marching with air punches, something. It's something, whatever it may be for wherever you are that particular moment, knowing it's open, it's fluid, it's about grace, but setting those small, realistic, achievable goals and establishing them, celebrating your wins. This will help you stay motivated and consistent. Consistency matters. Um, every little bit counts. 5 to 10 minutes, a few times, um, is more effective than an occasional intense session. I think that's important to note that if we do something a little bit, it's more effective than if you don't do anything and then you try to do, an occasional burst of something. So establishing those goals. The next, it says, modify as you go. There are so many ways to modify, adapt, almost anything we like to do, with props and different versions of everything we like to do. Don't give up on something you love to do. See how you can bring it into a different posture, a sitting posture, a standing, a laying. This always skip painful movements. There's going to be some discomfort when we start, from underused muscles, but you'll know the difference, of overexertion and pain. But just modify as you go using these props that I'm going to show you, in the coming moments. Um, but you can always modify. The next is track your progress. And as I mentioned, some of those different fitness trackers, the watches, and there's so many different ways we can do this. However is best for you. If you don't like to write in a journal, I still like to write, but writing things down, these questions like how you feel before, how you feel after you move and stretch. And sometimes this helps us identify patterns, not only in the things we like and don't like to do, but sometimes in our pain as well. You can write down what works, what didn't work, what triggered a flare when the movements I was doing. You'll also have documentation for your healthcare appointments too, if you're journaling what you did. And look at me, I'm doing what you told me to do. I exercised today. And so you'll have some documentation as well. And then track your successes. Look at what I've been doing. I've met some of my goals. I'm writing new goals. That'll help with that consistency piece too. And then the last is my favorite. Do what you enjoy. This is my favorite. Do what you like to do. um, how how you can adapt or modify so it feels like fun, self-care more than exercise. And remember, every little bit counts. No matter what you're doing, everything counts. I love this. Maybe it's dog walking, dancing, tai chi, qigong, hiking, swimming. Find a buddy, accountability partner. And again, never push through pain. Listen to your body, and you know what's best too. So, always go at your own pace for your condition. That's the most important thing. So, next slide, please. So now we're going to get into the meat and the potatoes of why I wanted to do this too. But over the next few slides, I chose samples not because these are my favorites or anything else. Um, I've chosen samples of, gentle movement and stretches. There isn't a one standard set of stretches or gentle movements that would be best suited for any one person here, in our Building Your Toolbox audience. We're all different levels of abilities, many different types of conditions. My hope is to show the modifications, the adaptations can be made to where we are now for some of the things we like to do. That's my hope. Again, Michelle said, I said, it's recorded. Don't feel like you have to write anything down. Everything is, all the exercises are in a full list at the very end. Again, remember, don't take my word for it. Please consult your healthcare professional for about your specific conditions before starting any of the gentle movements or exercises. With all movement and stretches, we for sure want to keep hydrated. Proper footwear and clothing, what's best for you. That's what's, if you can't wear any clothes and you're inside, more power to you. You should see me when I'm at home in my treadmill. And assisted devices, whatever you need, please do that. One of the easiest and most accessible is walking. We can do it, as I've shown here, you can do it outside if you're able, with assisted devices, the rollators, the walking sticks, whatever you need, if you're able. Again, I always tell people, if you can, stand up straight, have good posture. And I'm going to tell everyone tonight is the core. The biggest thing we can do for ourselves is to have that strong core. And when I say that, what I mean is drawing that belly button to your spine, getting those deep corset muscles strong. So we can do this. You're not sucking in, that's up here. You're not holding your breath. You're just bringing that belly button to your spine. That's a nice way to strengthen that core, and it's good posture. So if you're doing the sitting walking, same thing. You're just have nice posture. You're bringing that belly button to your core. Bang for your buck. I'm walking. I'm sitting. You're doing more than one thing at a time. Nice strong core. So she's sitting, nice posture if she can. A sturdy chair, no arms on it, so nothing. And if she's able, she can even swing her arms. So I'm doing my arms too. And maybe you're only able to do your arms. That's fine too. This is how I used to teach my running athletes. We would just do arms and they wouldn't do their legs. That's great too. You still get your heart rate up doing just your arms. You can do that laying in bed too. If you can't do the legs, just do your arms. If you can't do your arms, just do your legs. There's so many things. We can walk with our arms. So sitting, and same thing in laying. The only thing that I would hope in laying is keep a flat back. That's just tucking that pelvis a little bit, keeping that core. You're trying to get that belly button to touch the spine. That's holding our core in. And if you get that arch in the back a little bit, just put your hands underneath by your low back, kind of that butt area, just so you're getting a prop underneath. You don't want to get a hump in your back. Keep a nice flat back. And then you just march with your feet. Just tapping your feet down. You're walking in bed. I'm walking in bed. And you can punch your arms up just for something else, just to get your heart rate up. So this is I have all three examples here, how it can be done in standing, chair, utilize walking sticks, however it may be. That's why I like this one. It's most accessible. So here we go now. Next one. Here is cycling. I love this too. This was one of my favorite ones, and I've resulted in the very bottom one, laying. I used to be a big cyclist, whether it's stationary cycling, outdoor, or body movement cycling. This is a very low impact yet effective for building leg strength, improving endurance. A recumbent bike, as you see up in the right-hand corner, it puts less stress on our joints and back, and it's more comfortable for those with pain. And so that's one. And then as I show, you can pedal away while you're lying as well. Just make it sure it's slow, it's controlled, you're not going fast. Unless you can go fast, great. Be mindful of what we're doing. Use your breath, keep a flat back. our core again. Always think of that core. Just be real mindful. And then there's an adaptive bike on the left-hand side of me. This is Annette. She is a former client, my forever friend, and hero, seen here on her wheelchair at her wheelchair camp last year, competing in her first 10K bike race. She pedals with her hands, and so that's something too. She bought this bike right after we were finished working together, and now pedals all around just using her hands. She's paralyzed from the waist down, has chronic shoulder pain, and this is the best way that she's able to bike all of her creation. So that's just another adaptive way. So next slide, please. Swimming. Getting in the water takes the pressure off our joints, allowing full range of motion while still offering that gentle resistance for muscle and strengthening. You can use so many different things in the pool, the noodles, the barbells like he has there, even our own extremities, your arms, your legs for that extra resistance, laps, participating in water classes, even walking laps in the water to improve cardiovascular health and mobility. Hanging in the pool is also acts as a natural traction, but do that under the guidance of your healthcare professionals. And most therapy pools are warm, which helps relax the muscles and soothe your aches and soreness. So these past three have been just another way for cardio health, and another way that we can really, do a lot of things we still maybe have always loved to enjoy. Next slide, please. Here is our core strengthening. Again, core strengthening helps improve our balance, coordination, stabilizes the spine, improves our posture and alignment. We can do core strengthening in all different ways. It truly is it really is, like I said, drawing that belly button to your spine, not holding your breath. It's that deep stabilizing muscles around our spine, that pelvis, the trunk of our body. I like a bang for my buck muscle exercise, one that's gonna kind of do everything, and that's why I kind of chose, the first one is a dead bug. It's on the left-hand side. You've probably seen it in physical therapy. It activates everything: our arms, our legs, our core. But I picked these three: the seated twist, and that plank it's really advanced, but we have everybody here. But I wanted to show everything. But I just wanted to show that we can do stuff while we're laying down. You can sit in a sturdy chair, and then if you're more advanced, you can, in the plank, you can do so many variations of the plank. You can do it on your hands, you can do it on your elbows, you can do it, on one arm, sideways plank. There's just so many different variations, but the core, there's so much we can do. But I really wanted to show this one, and again, all of these are listed out. You can look them up, but first, before you do any of these, please reach out to your PT and ask, should I be doing those with my condition because of the neck? Putting your head down, some conditions you shouldn't be putting your head down. You shouldn't be twisting with how your back is. So just ask before you start any of these. But next slide, please. The legs, and I wanted to show these too, and I have these in order for a reason: large muscles to smaller muscles, to our leg muscles to improve and maintain mobility. We want to try and keep our legs nice and strong. They're so, again, I just have images basically here. I just wanted to show again, we can do all these variations if you're in the chair, and be mindful of the muscles you're activating. If I'm laying down and doing that straight leg raise, I'm going to be very mindful of my core is nice and strong. I have a nice flat back, and I'm activating that quad muscle while I'm doing it. And I'm really thinking about and being very mindful of, and I might be squeezing my butt too while I'm doing it. So I'm getting really bang for my buck. I'm really thinking about the muscle that I'm activating while I'm doing it. I'm being very mindful. I'm not holding my breath. I'm really utilizing my breath. Um, and being really mindful of muscles that I'm activating. That's so important, especially I don't have a lot of energy to be doing this. So I only have a little bit of time. I'm really going to be mindful. If I'm only doing a couple exercises a day, I really want to be mindful and utilize the time I have. So, so in some of these, like the seated one, his leg is bent. If you can put your leg straighten your leg. But if you only can have it bent, only have it bent. Same way with that, her leg is straight while she's laying down. If you can't have it straight, bend it. It's modify some of these exercises that work best for how your body is. Just and when you're doing standing stuff, try not to lean. Just be nice and tall. So, next slide. Our arms, I don't know about you, but my arms have really, I've had to use them more than I've ever had to use my arms before. And I have to rely on them, especially mine is my back. So I'm using my arms more than I ever have before. So here I'm just showing that I can do bicep curls. I can do them standing. And when I'm standing nice and tall. I'm having my core help me. I'm not swinging. I'm having my core help me when I'm standing. Same thing, I can do that same exercise in sitting. If I want to be real fancy, I could sit on an exercise ball instead of a chair. And then I can do stuff while I'm laying in my bed. And that one that she's doing, I'm making sure I have a flat back and her legs are straight, but bend your legs. If your back is bad, bend your knees. And then you can do one arm or you can do both arms. You can move your arms out to the side, do anything you want with your arms, punch your arms up in the air. And then she's using tubing. A lot of PTs, well, you can go into PT and they'll give you free tubing. So you can get a lot of different tubing, a lot of different resistance, different, strengths of it. So and when she's doing it too, I would tell this girl on the bottom, make sure your core is tight. And they get sick of me saying that. And I'd say, well, do it anyway, because then your back is strong. So, and then just really think of the muscle that you're activating while you're doing it. So, next slide. So now we're on to the stretches. As I mentioned earlier, stretching is strengthening the muscle and tendons to allow joints to move in full range of motion. It's improving flexibility over time, reducing muscle tension, enhancing circulation, and helping calm the nervous system. I've just chosen samplings. There are so many again. I'm just going to keep saying that because I want you to be like, why did Sara pick these silly things? Well, because I'm silly too, but never stretch cold muscles. I grew up in the era, it's like you just stretched and then you did something. Don't stretch cold muscles. It's just like putting a rubber band in the freezer. Our tendons, our muscles and tendons are like that. Our muscles are like that. Just think of it like putting a rubber band that's just been in the freezer. Spend a few minutes warming up before you stretch. I've added there's dynamic stretching and static stretching. So dynamic stretching is in movement. And that's a good way to warm up, do some dynamic stretching. And those are in movement stretches. And then static stretches are the ones you think of as a holding stretch. So always listen to your body. You should feel a stretch should feel like a mild tension, but never sharp. So a stretch should feel like, oh yeah, I can feel that, but never anything sharp. Um, Never a sharp pain. Stretches should feel like a gentle pull, but not anything torn. A pull, but not torn. Pain is your guide. If something hurts, back off immediately. So you should feel a pull, a little bit of tension, but nothing should be torn. Again, you'll get nauseum at this, but always check with your healthcare team. Like especially, I just always go to like Ellers, Danlos, and those things. Like really check with anyone before you do any stretching. So next slide. Oh no, this one. So oops, go back one. There we go. So the first, these first few, again, the first one, that the gentleman that's laying on his back, bringing his leg in, you can, instead of even using your arm, if you can't reach your leg, you can use tubing, you can use a towel. That's utilizing props. That's utilizing props. This one is a bang for your buck one. That's another one that I love, these ones that are bang for your buck. You can, that leg that's down, you could do a heel slide. That leg that's up, you can do like point your toe. That can be for your calf. You can do ankle circles. You can, there's just so much ankle pumps. You can do circles. You can point your toe for the other leg. You can do, so I like an exercise or a stretch that's going to give me tons of things. While I'm down there, I want to do a lot. So same thing with the quad stretch, that guy that's holding on to the chair. He's holding it so you'll be able to feel a pull, but then an extra, if you like push your foot into his hand, he'll feel an extra. So I like some of these that are a bang for your buck. She's leaning forward in the chair. If she would just turn her opposite shoulder to that knee, you're going to feel even more. So just a few things. On the other side, you've maybe seen in yoga the cat cow one. That one you do with your breath. In breath, out breath, and then in the chair one, it's just taking that cat cow and doing it in the chair. So, and then the child's pose on the bottom is a yoga pose, and then it's just being modified for someone that just can't get that low. Just using a lot of blankets and different bolsters to do it in to still be able to do it. There are different ways we modify things. So again, I have all these listed out at the end of this this segment. So next slide, please. Stretches for our spine and our core. I really, again, if you've had any work done on your back or just please check with someone before you do any of these. That one on the bottom, bringing your knees to your chest, you can bend your knees up, you can bring both knees to your chest, one at a time. And then that one where she's bringing her knees side to side, she can turn her head the opposite way to her knees. Just showing different things that we can do to stretch our back, stretch our core. And then our shoulders, rolling our shoulders back. We don't think about that enough. We can roll them one way, we can roll them the other way. And then this is a shoulder blade squeeze. And so you just are in sitting, and then you just like are squeezing a pencil between your shoulder blades. You just hold it there for like, 5 seconds, 8 seconds, and then you just release and wait a while. And then you do that again. And then the girl with the head, so you can bring your ear to your shoulder. And then if you're able, I always have people bring their chin to chest and then ear to shoulder, But again, only if you're able. Next slide. Our arms. Again, you don't want to get frozen shoulder. You don't, many of here have had it, and it's dreadful, and it's dreadful to go through this. So, and that's, those shoulder ones are great for the ones that we just did. Those squeezes are wonderful for that. But these are dynamic, these warm-ups, the arms, these are great for those warm-ups. And so we're doing arm circles. We can go out here, we can go forward with arm circles, we can go up. So so I just wanted to show some stretching like this. Our wrist, we don't think about that. Especially when we're in that pain flare, because like I said a long time ago, we we want to do these things to break up that pain cycle, to get those dopamine hits, to get those serotonin hits. And we can do arm circles when we're in those hard times. And then our fingers, we can do here, we can do fists, any kind of, we can open our hands, anything like that. So I just had that one picture here, but we can do so many things with our stretching our hands. So next slide. So here's just a few gentle reminders. I've talked long enough. Consult with your healthcare professionals to make sure the activities that are doing are appropriate. Find a PT or OT or rehab practitioner that specializes in your condition so that you can ask those questions that I brought up during our talk tonight. And I have those questions there below. Begin slow, build up over time. Overdoing it can lead to flare-ups. Increase as you are able. You know your body best. You know your body best. You may have discomfort. That's normal, but you know the difference between overexertion and pain. Incorporate rest and recovery. Allow your body time to adapt. Find that balance. As I said, it's gonna shift day to day, but you know your body's best. So thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you.